Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Tim's Tidbits. This is the price section recap for March 27th, 2023. Just trying to get myself together. I forgot to share the link for any black spiders. Now, black spiders. The link that I am about to share in the membership section is for you to pull up if you have a question. Not to be confused with this is where you watch the episode. Again, I'm posting a link. It says, here is the link to come on the stage and ask a question. over there in the little fine print thing when you sign up for the memberships, the thing that says about virtual something, it says that's what that link is. Let me go read it. Let me go read and see what it says. Y'all know what this part of the episode is. Y'all know what we do in this part of the episode. So this part of the episode, we're separating the wheat from the tare. We're separating the wheat from the tare. Okay, so it say somebody upgraded. Let's while we in here, let's check to see if optional features, no emojis, no badges, no, that's the levels. Membership levels. Okay. Virtual video collaborations. That's what it's called. It's called virtual video collaborations. That's what that link is for. Virtual video collaboration. You and me. That's what that link is for. Let's see if we got anybody that I need to shout out. All right. See if I need to shout out anybody. Let me let y'all see this. We already shouted out Smiley, AR, cool. Yeah, we shouted out those people. Let me see. Kareem. I remember Kareem. I remember Tiffany, King Von, Nikki. E. I don't know if we shouted out E with the badge. Otis. I don't know if we shouted out Otis with the new badge. So shout them out. I don't remember shouting them out. Yeah, I think we already shouted out these. Marcia. Nope, I don't remember shouting out Marcia with the badge. Marcia got the badge, the fancy badge. Shout out Marcia. Shout out Philip Bryce. Shout out George Spruill with the fancy badge. For those who don't know what the badges are for the length of time that these people have been supporting the channel in a financial way. I thank you. What's up to everybody in the chat here to learn to share? FC, the Eraser Liquor, Michelle Tucker, Lil Hawk, the AM Macro. The AM Macros Tim mentioned yesterday were nice today. Shout out FC out there putting in the work. Otis say I'm official, like a referee. I can't. It's hard for me to say that word. Like a referee whistle. Shout out FC putting in the work, looking at the macros, say the macros putting in work. Black spiders. I posted the video and I ended up posted a little bit late. It was like this afternoon when I posted it because I had a lot going on this morning. So but the video did post. If you do not know, if you do not check the membership section, I will let you know here, right? For the first 12 or 13 minutes, right? Let's just go over and look at it. Why don't we? Right here. There's a video right here. I said, this morning's price action analysis. Yes, I spelled that right. Is in the member playlist. I talked for the first 12 or 13 minutes, and then I start talking again around 41:13. Right? So when you go look at the video, right? If you go look at the video, if you see here, right? I went in and I had to go check to see, right? So if you see here, right? So from nope, not talking there. Okay, I'm talking there. So right there. So right around 12 minutes. So right around 12 minutes, 12:05, I talked for the first 12 minutes, right? Now the video keeps going. There's no talking, but the candles keep going. And what I said on there was, right? Because I was going through looking at the candles. I didn't get a chance to watch it in the morning, but I was going through watching the candles and I was watching it. I put it at the beginning of the video so I wouldn't see what was going on, right? And I was talking through the candles, and then I needed to know the times of some candles. And when I went and opened up the chart, right, I had saw what was going to happen like over the next 30 minutes or so, right? So what I did, I stopped where I was at and I said, hey, if you want to keep looking at the candles and try to figure out I gave a breakdown. I like based off we done did this, we done did that. You know what I'm saying? You figure out what you think the price gonna do next, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna skip forward to the 10:08 candle. But as you see, it's still playing. The video continues to play. If you just want to hear me talking, you listen to the first 12 minutes, and then you skip all the way down to like I think 41:13, right? I think 41:13, right? Yes, 41:13. I start talking again because when I looked at to get like the time for a candle over here, these were the candles I saw, and I saw we had did all of this right here. So I skipped forward in the video to where I didn't know what was coming up next, and then I started talking about the price again. And then once I went, you know what I'm saying, like how far I got to a certain point again, and I was tired of talking, and then I got to the point where I was like, hey, now y'all go in, and based off of that's when I was drawing this stuff out. I was like, based off of all the stuff we've done with this, that, go in and you know what I'm saying, tell me what you think price is gonna do next. That was like further down here. This area. there. Like I marked everything up. I was like, based off this, this. Go in, figure out what you think price gonna do. So it was kind of like an interactive thing. It was kind of like an interactive video where, you know what I'm saying, I gave my viewpoint on some, then I said, hey, you go look to see what you think it's gonna do. Then I gave my viewpoint on some more, and then I say, hey, you go look to see what you think price gonna do based off of this, right? Um I ain't even gonna address the foolishness. I'm not even gonna address the foolishness, man. We just gonna get right into the price action, man. We gonna get right into the price action. Where I thought I had the ES up. I thought I had the price. I did. I knew I had it up. Let's put this on the daily. And let's go over here, holler at our homegirl Spalene. If you don't know who Spalene is the ETF, SPY even, that tracks the price performance of the S&P 500. Right here, we call it Spalene. We even wrote a song for her. You want to hear it? Here it go. If you know the words, sing it with me now. Spalene, where you at, baby? Here I go. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad that you came through. But Spalene, what is you about to do? Where is all your drawings? There they go. Okay. Looking at spot. Oh. Me. Pick me. You know what I just thought about? Because I'm like, what is this on the screen? This is for the trader and you, and this is hey, who remember? Does anyone remember what this green rectangular box is? I just remembered what it was just now because I'm looking at my screen like, what in the world is this on my screen? But does anyone in the chat remember what this green rectangular box was put on the screen for today? Does anyone remember why it was put there? 15 seconds and counting. Nobody remembers? No one remembers? No one remembers? Here, learn to share thinking. No one remembers? There you go, Derek. There you go, Derek. With the acronyms. Opening range gap. New week opening gap. Not the new week opening gap. It was the opening range gap, or whatever ICT call it. It's the gap from the last New York close to the new New York close. That gap right there. And who remembers when I got the notey notes? When I got the notey notes and I said, hey, blah, 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 blah. Based off of what? Who remembers? Uh-oh, sorry for hitting the microphone. Who remembers what I said about that? When I said, take your notes, people, from listening to ICT. Derek. Get off my screen. Who remember what the notey note said? Your videos. Oh, yeah. It didn't say, oh, yeah. What did the note? What did the note say? Overnight price, action. Oh man, I can't do it like that. I got to do it like this. Your account. I got to do it like this. Oh yeah. Nobody still don't know. I'm waiting on y'all to type it in there now. What did the note say about the new range opening gap? It will get filled. More specific, please, Michelle. More specific. Then it will get filled. What will price do? Correct one. If this, then this. I'm walking y'all through it step by step. Note. I wonder will I get a copyright strike for playing my own video? Y'all remember I've been getting all the copyright strikes? If this, then that. Oh, that's when I was talking to my kids and I was up. Let's go back and look at the chart. The candles make sense. To come down and take out this sell side and then attack that buy side liquidity, right? Why did I want it to do that? Because we had come up this far. That's when Kareem pulled up.
I literally just got.
Y'all remember when Kareem pulled up? Let me see how I'll be looking. Let me see if my face be saying what I be thinking. I want to see if my face be saying what I be thinking. Driving and chatting. I do not. Everybody on Algo's in there. I do not condone driving and chat. What's up, man? What you got?
I'm not even looking at my phone.
Okay. Well, what you got? What's up? The silence.
Nah. I know I saw you post the overnight price things you were looking at.
Just talk about. Okay, let me see if I can find it. When did we talk about that? When did we go look at Spalene? Was it that far back? Man, was it that far in the beginning? It had to be in the beginning. It was, I only had the daily stuff. Let's go up to the daily. I only had down to the daily stuff. You know, I only do like down to the daily stuff on the weekend chart prayer. And then, you know, all this smaller stuff all in my nursery. Hard for me to see it when I got a ninja trading chart. This right here is the buy side right there. When I wrote it, here we are right now. This is the time out. It's between clock last night. Where's the view? And we set a low. That low that we set talking about this morning is the 40.11.25. That high that we set was the 40.27.25, right? When I said this is the liquidity that I seek, right? What I wanted it to do was come down, right? I wanted it to come down and take out the sell side and then attack that buy side liquidity, right? Why did I want it to do that? Drive me crazy because we had come up this far, set a high, set a low, above the new week opening gap, right? So I wanted it to come back down toward the new week opening gap. And as you notice, I got a breaker and a fair value gap mapped out. I use this one here. Hide all this stuff real quick. Did I just find it? Right. So it's easy to show the gap up on the SPY. I just found it. Right. We're getting ready to gap up. This is we closed that right there. Here. I don't know why my clothesline is not there. If it right, this is where we closed that here. We're getting ready to open up there. So that means we got this gap up. All this gap. And if you look on the SPY right there, there's a fair value gap right there. Right. that's going to look like it was skipped over.
It will expand.
It's going to look like it was skipped
premium
over.
or discount
Gap up, so it's going to be
then back
open up here.
Fill
all
it.
the price in
it
between
may
here
fill it
and
all
there
away. It may
would be showing a gap.
Look at Regina.
Right. It will be showing a gap if we open
hard
up.
hitting note tape.
If we open up right where we at right now, it will be showing a gap right there.
Look at Regina coming through with a hard hitting note tape.
Remember what we said. Remember what we said before, right? If there is notes, if there is an opening range gap, price will expand if it's not filled to a premium or discount PD array to go back to the gap, right? So if it's an opening range gap, price will expand to a premium and it's up. So it'll go to a premium PD array to return back down to the gap, right? That's what I'm saying there. And then we start talking. So we trading. This could be a premium. Once the market opens, a premium. Right? If we don't immediately come down and fill in that gap, price can expand to a premium PD array. Only thing we got up here is this buy side right there on this 15-minute, and then the buy side I said, is next on the list. So you got this buy side that we just created, and we got the other buy side that that's the 60-minute buy side that I was looking at, right? That's a 60-minute also. So we got this buy side that we just created, and then this buy side up here that I annotated. So we could easily come up to this buy side here, hit this rejection block, right? Consequent encroachment of this wick. This is why it's important to understand the whole picture. Even though you only trade one thing, it's important to understand the whole picture so you won't be surprised when price does certain things, right? So if we don't fill this gap up immediately, right? Remember, we closed way down here. This is where we closed at Friday at 4 o'clock down here at 4,250, right? We don't come down and close that. Right now, I don't see us coming all the way down there, but we can. But if we don't come down and close that, we can easily trade up to a premium PD array. This consequent encroachment of this rejection block, that's a premium PD array, right? This high, that's a premium PD array. That high, that's a premium PD array. That equilibrium of the monthly box, that's a premium PD array, right? We can very well hit that and then go back down toward that gap. Now, that is what we were saying. And shout out Regina for coming through with the hard hitting note taking. Now, let's go back into the price section and see what exactly did price do today. What did price do today? Right? Here we go. Now, looking at the candles, at that time frame, right around here, we had one, two, and we were working on this candle right here. That green candle right there is this doji candle right here. These are 60 minutes. Yes. Right. So that green candle there is that doji right there. Right. So this high right there, that's the buy side that we said. We just created this buy side. Right. I have marked this buy side out right here. I marked that top buy side out right there. I was like, hey, this look like we heading up there. All right. And then I said, we just created this buy side. Right. So we just created. What are you doing? Right there. That's the buy side. I said we just created. Right there. We just created this buy side. So we had this consequent encroachment of that rejection block. And then we had the orange line is the equilibrium on the monthly box, right? And we said we're getting a new date. We're getting an opening range gap because we closed right here at 4,250 on Friday. Matter of fact, let me do this right here. Okay, so this white line right here, that's Friday's close. This first green line, that's the buy side that I said we was had just created right over there. Again, we was on this green candle right there. That's the buy side I said we just created. That right there, that's the buy side that I had already marked out. And then the gold line that I didn't put on there, of course. Y'all already understand that that's that gold line. 43. Is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. That's a solid. I need a dashed. I really wish it dotted right there. That one there. Now, those are the PD arrays that I was talking about in the premium, right? So when price opened up, this is the 10 o'clock candle, right? So when price opened up, it did not come down and fill the gap. The gap, the new range opening gap. Let's put the candles on. It wasn't 10 o'clock yet. It wasn't even 9:30 yet. It wasn't even 9:30 yet because I was still on the live. So we're going to drop down to like 15 minutes so I can get the actual time. And we're going to move over till what time is this right here? That's 3 in the morning. 3 o'clock in so here. That's 9 o'clock. Right. So boom. We'll just go. We'll just go around here somewhere. Here. We'll go around here somewhere. What the candle look like. Little green candle. So it's just after 9. We're gonna come here to this because it was a little green candle. So we'll just go around there. That's close enough for government work, right? So there we go. There we go. All right. So we was here. Now, the opening range gap. Right? I bet y'all like, Tim, you're doing a whole lot. No, I'm not. I'm doing it for the people who don't understand it. If you already understand it, I'm proud of you. Right? So the opening range gap is here. Where's not? We got to get over here to 9:30. 9:30. Right here. See, that's the one thing I like about TradingView, where the what's names, the tools to like you can undo, you can like, you know what I'm saying, like turn the snap on and off. It's just like I used to be able to set hotkeys for turning my snap on and off on Ninja Trader, but that kind of stopped happening. For some reason. I don't know why. Maybe that was just a Mac thing. Okay, so that's our new range opening gap right there, right? A new date, opening range gap. That's our opening range gap right there. Friday's close down here to today's open on New York, right? Finally, I can see. I was driving. What? He said, good evening. I know you come straight to YouTube now. I know too. Oh, finally, I can see. I was driving. Okay. Now, what did we say? We said if there is a opening range gap, there is, price will expand if it's not filled to a premium or discount PD array, depending on which gap it is. If it's a gap down, it'll expand to a discount. If it's a gap up, in this case, which is matter of fact, let's change this to green because it's a gap up, right? It's a gap up, not a gap down, right? So it's a gap up, right? So since it's a gap up, I'm making it green. If it's not filled, right, because this is the opening price here. This is when it opens. So if price doesn't immediately come down and fill this in, you can expect price to expand upwards to a premium PD array because it's a gap up, and then go back to the gap, right? Now, let's move forward. Forward. It came down into the gap some, right? Came down. What is that? What's that, about 1/4? Let's check that out. Let's check out, see if that's a quarter. How can we check that out? We can get us a Fibonacci, right? And set it to the size of the gap and use our handy dandy template called quads. Put it on quads, apply, voila. Just like that, we see that it came down about 1/4. That first line right there, that's 25%. That's 50% or consequent encroachment. That's 75% or 3/4. And that's the whole fill in, right? And as you notice, we come down to the 25%, and there's no imbalance there, right? There's no imbalance there at the 25%. We have gone through a breaker. We've traded down through a breaker. We were skating on top of a breaker right here. This bullish breaker right there. If anybody can't see it, you have this high came up, came down and took out that low, traded back up through it. And we were skating along the top of that bullish breaker right there. Then we traded down through it, right, down to 25%, and then wicked back up, right, giving us the 52 fake out, right? Oh, I'm wicking down, but I'm respecting that breaker. That was the 52 fake out, right? How could you have noticed that that was the 52 fake out, that it wasn't really respecting that breaker, right? One, because it was struggling to get back up to the high right there. It came up, right? It went up. We get lower and lower and lower, right? Then we dip down and wick back up. We're struggling after we've come up and taken out buy side. So we're struggling to go up. And then we also saw that the dollar was, you know what I'm saying, doing some wacky tobacky. And then we also had pointed out that, where is it? Where's the divergence? Divergence. Remember the divergence we talked about right here? What do we say whenever there is divergence amongst the three indexes? If there's divergence amongst the three indexes, price will be choppy. Liquidity runs will be high resistance. if we note time, this right here, divergence, when one reach objective and DHY5, that's a different divergence there. Let's see if we got another one on divergence in here. I got a lot of market symmetry, DXY up, market manipulation, aka divergence, high resistance, market manipulation, aka divergence, equals high resistance. Got all kind of notes in here. Is there something else in here about divergence? It's in here somewhere. Divergence, high resistance, liquidity run, the market printing conflicting PD arrays, and no clear draw on liquidity. High probability. Nope. Okay, yeah, I got a lot of stuff in here about divergence, right? So high resistance, basically divergence, market manipulation equals high resistance. And in the morning, we had showed that the NQ and the ES were making higher highs, and I mean the Dow and the ES were making higher highs, and the NQ was failing, and so the NQ was showing divergence. And if you look right here, right around the time we're looking at, right around the time, let's move over here. Where are we? Right there. No. Where are we? What time is this? Yes, come back. Come back. Give me a high five right here. That's what we are. See the divergence right there, right? The divergence actually right there we was looking at. So we right there at divergence. So we're at divergence. We're expecting chop suey, right? We're expecting chop suey. We're at the divergence. The liquidity run, right? The draw on liquidity. My battery just did a dead battery thing. It may start messing up on IG. Right? So this is the draw up here. We're looking for this to be the draw on liquidity. We got divergence. The draw is going to be high resistance. We're going to get some chop. Now, we hit the 25%. Let's move forward some more. Right? Boom. We took out what? A PD array, a premium PD array. We said if it doesn't fill, you can expect price to expand to a premium PD array to go back and attack the gap. Now you can either fill the gap, you can either go further into the gap, you can, you know what I'm saying, whatever, but you can expect it to expand, hit a premium PD array, and then attack the gap. We said this prior to, based off the note taken, we said that prior to it happening, right? Moving forward, we're right back around 25%. We're coming down close to square encroachment. Coming into right here, we got fair value gap there. We got an order block right there that we just came. Did we go wick for wick? The high on that order block is the high on this order block. The order block is the 515 candle. That'll be the 5 o'clock candle on Thinkorswim and Trading View. The high on that candle is 415.75. The low on this 1030 candle, that'll be the 1015 candle, is 4015.50. The high on the order block was 4015.75. So we went one tick into the order blocks wick. Let's move forward a little bit more. Boom. Skated down, totally disrespected the order block. Now, we've come down. We have disrespected one, that's fair value gap there. Two, that's an order block right there. That's two PD arrays that we have disrespected. We got down and we have just kissed. We at the 75%, and we just kissed this fair value gap too, right here. That's the third. I'm looking close to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me make these candles bigger so y'all can see too. I can make it bigger now because we don't need all that other stuff. I jalapaz. So okay, boom. We got some stuff I missed. We got a volume imbalance in here, right? We had already hit it, but we, extended out right there. It acted as support right here. That volume imbalance acted as support here. So not so much, but still it's there. We got a fair value gap there that we disrespected. We got the order block right here that we did totally disrespected. And now we just, what's the low on this candle right here? 4,825, right? That's this line right here. That's the 75% line. And the low on this candle right here is 4,850. So are we going to get an institutional order flow entry drill, right? I wouldn't be so excited about it. Why? I don't know what's coming next. I don't remember those candles right now, but because we have dropped through and we've blasted through this fair value gap with no kind of respect to it, we've gone through this volume imbalance right there, and we've gone through that order block. That's 1, 2, 3 PD arrays that we have disrespected. So I would not be looking to go long off of this fair value gap. Let's go forward. Boom. We wicked back up and touched into this fair value gap. I would have been looking to short that, right? I would have been looking to short that. I wouldn't have got picked up on that if I would have been doing my customary consequent encroachment. Consequent encroachment would have been roughly around this candle's low right there. Let's go ahead and get the real one. Let's not guesstimate. So consequent encroachment would have been 40.1825. Right, and the low of this candle right here is 40.1850. So one tick below, close enough for government work. So consequent encroachment, I would not have gotten picked up, but institutional order flow entry drill, you would have been picked up, and that would have been a beautiful short. That's a 5-point move plus right there, because if you got picked up on an institutional order flow entry drill, your entry would have been, what's the high of that candle? 40.1650. Your entry would have been 40.1675. And then 40.1175 right here. That would have been a 5-point move, right? At this point of the closing of this candle, the low of this candle would have gave you a full 10-point move. The low of that candle was a full 10-point move from institutional order flow entry drill off of that. Now we are coming to consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. Stretch that over. Did we hit it? Nope, don't look like we hit it quite yet. Coming close to it. Let's load that up. Okay, we're coming close to it. Consequent encroachment of that BISI right there is 4,650. The low of that count is 4,675. Like I said, 10 points from institutional order flow entry drill off of this SIBI up here. Moving over. Oh, and for that SIBI, for anybody who says why would I would have been looking for a short there, because we've had a break in market structure here. We've disrespected 3 PD arrays there, and from this high down to that low right there, this fair value gap is right at equilibrium. I wouldn't have got picked up because I would have been going for consequent encroachment, but institutional order flow entry drill would have gotten you picked up. It looked like you might even got picked up on 1/4 of that. But anyway, that's why I would have been looking to go short there. Breaking market structure, back to equilibrium into a premium, and disrespected 3 PD arrays coming down. Right. So let's go forward a little bit more. And we've come down, filled in the fair value gap. We are a stone's throw away from filling in the opening range gap. Got a nice reaction after filling in this fair value gap. Pushed all the way back up above the height of the bullish fair value gap. Let's go forward a little bit more. We came back down. Did we get to the bottom? The low of this candle is 4,275. The low of the gap is 4,250. 1 tick away from the low of the gap. Yes, 1 tick away from the low of the gap. Push forward. We came back up into the this order block that we pushed through before, right? this order block there that we pushed through before, we came, stopped, reacted off of it. Right, when you trade back down through it, you expect it to be resistance. On top of it, you expect it to be support. Below it, you expect it to be resistance. It's resisting right now. Go forward, and it did its job, and we filled the gap. Did we come down to consequent encroachment of the wick? We filled the gap. Did we get consequent encroachment of the wick? Did we get consequent encroachment of the wick? CE up 15-minute. Apply, and we got consequent encroachment of the wick from when we came down and got this reaction when we set that low at London. Right, we set that low at London. We came down, set that low at London, and we also came down and tapped into that consequent encroachment of that. God dog it, that consequent encroachment of that wick. Consequent encroachment was at 4,050. The low of that wick was 4,025. So we went one tick past consequent encroachment on that wick after filling the opening range gap. Move forward. We pushed back up. Make sure we didn't have a fair value gap. Came back down to 4,050. Right there at consequent encroachment. Kissed consequent encroachment. Pushed back up. Starting to make a trek back up. Came almost had, we made equal highs with the 1145. That'll be the 11 o'clock candle. 401350, 401350 made equal highs with the 11 o'clock candle. Moving forward, took out that equal high, came back down, stopped short of the volume imbalance in between the 1215 and the 1230 candle. That'll be the 12 o'clock and 1215 candle on Thinkorswim and TradingView. We're starting to consolidate, looks like. Still consolidating in the same range. Okay, we took out the buy side. Starting to move up. We took out the buy side, starting to move up. We got back up into the fair value gap that we had institutional order flow entry drill going short. We've gotten back up. Yep, we've came back up to consequent encroachment. A little bit above consequent encroachment right there at 4018.50. I think it was 4018.25. Filled the fair value gap, pulled back down. Filled the fair value gap and pulled back down. Came all the way back down to this down close candle right there. Respect this battery dying for real on there. All right, I'm going too far. Came back down to this down close candle there. We got this huge up close candle right there. Let's come in here and look at consequent encroachment of this wick right here. Extend this out. We're going to extend that out over there. Okay. And then we're going to take that. Put that there like that. All right. So all that right there. That right there. When we stopped right there. So between, I know y'all like, Tim, what are you doing? I'm working magic. I'm working magic. So if we go from 4011.75, right, 4011.75 up to 4014.50, 4014.50. All right. Let's give this a apply. Oh, no, let's make it yellow. Let's go 5 minute. Apply. Yes. Boom. All right. As you can see, both of those candles right there are respecting consequent encroachment on this implied fair value gap right there. All right. And how I got that, after we set this down close candle right here and we took off like that, I'm like, hey, this can be a potential order block, right? Then these next candles here, this candle over there and that candle there, their wicks overlapped. So I took consequent encroachment of this wick, consequent encroachment of that wick. In between those two, that's the implied fair value gap. Consequent encroachment of that implied fair value gap. Both of those next two candles are respecting that consequent encroachment, just like that. And then we come back down to the consequent encroachment one more time, then we take off, right? And again, we're walking through this one candle at a time. I'm just looking at this. I don't remember what these candles did. I wasn't looking at this on the 15-minute chart. I'm just walking through the price one candle at a time without looking at it and just watching what's going on. And it's playing out. You see it playing out in real time. You know, if you do the work, feel encouraged that, you know what I'm saying, the work that you're putting in, you're starting to see it. It's starting to come to fruition right before your eyes. Feel encouraged. And then we go back up there, yada, yada, yada. Bob's your uncle. We've been on here for 51 minutes, and, you know, I don't feel like walking through it no more. But go through it. Mags, it matters not what time frame we're on. I told y'all, when the time frame is important, I'll say it. When the time frame is important, I'll say it. Right now, for what we was just doing, the time frame matters not. For what we was just doing, the time frame don't make nan difference, right? Let me explain what we was doing, right? We were not trying to figure out a bias, right? We weren't trying to figure out a bias. We weren't trying to figure out like a draw on liquidity. We were, after we confirmed that the market was about to do, what can we call it? What can we call it? I don't know what to call it, right? Filling a gap, right? Once we confirmed that it was a high probability that we was going to fill this gap, right? How do we determine that? The market didn't fill it immediately, right? We moved up to a premium PD array, right? So once we moved to the premium PD array, we had divergence. So that means that the liquidity run is going to be high resistance, meaning it's not just going to go to the liquidity. It ain't going to just shoot there. It's going to fight. It may not go there. It may retrace. It's going to be high resistance, right? So it's likely that we're going to come back and fill this imbalance, right? So once we came back and filled the imbalance, we just started walking through. Well, on the way going through the imbalance, we was walking through the chart one candle at a time. So it matters not what time frame we're on. We're just reading the price one candle at a time and using all of the tools that we've run. And this is why I want to know it all. I want to know all of the concepts because I want to be able to read the price and pick and choose what I want to do, right? I may only take a trade if it's a fair value gap combined with a breaker in the premium or discount after it has ran liquidity. That may be the only time I press a trade, but I want to be able to go through the candles one by one, just like what we just did, and say, hey, we just disrespected 1, 2, 3 PD arrays. Now that we've gotten here to this fair value gap, I don't want to try to go long there, right? I don't want to try to go long there. Now that we've gotten here, I'm looking at that as a 52 fake out, right? Could you have gone long there and taken it back up to this fair value gap? Yes, you could have, because that's a trade going from gap to gap. You could have done that if that's your prerogative, right? So Do I want to go short there? Yes, I do. Want to go short there. Okay, we walked that through step by step. Once we came down here, got to the consequent encroachment. Once we came down here, I said, hey, did we hit consequent encroachment? Yes, we did. Now that we got that reaction off of consequent encroachment there, that's giving me a clue of, hey, we may be setting up for a reversal. Right? Why? Because this is a discount PD array we just hit. It matters not what time frame it's on, right? When I came back up here, I said, hey, we're about to make a break in market structure. We set equal highs, right? Once we took out those equal highs right there, what do? We came back down where? To a discount PD array, this volume imbalance right there. And then boom, we took off again. Right? We got the break in market structure right there. Boom, break in market structure. Then when we come back down, right? We come back down where? To the order block. And then the bodies of the candles respected what? The implied fair value gap, consequent encroachment, right? Without knowing about the implied fair value gap, there's no way for you to say, hey, this is why these bodies stop right there. This is why this candle wicked back up there. This is why I want to know everything. Look at that body, and that low, right? That close is 41.13. That open is 41.13. That low is 41.13. Every last one of them sitting right there. And where was that? Right there at the consequent encroachment of that implied fair value gap, right? Then we push up, got back up there. But again, when the time frame is important, I'll make sure to point out, hey, this is the time frame we're looking at. But when you're just reading the tape, to see what each candle is doing and applying the techniques that you've studied and learned, the time frame matters not. Now, don't be like, oh, Tim said the time frame don't matter. The time frames matter when you're building your narrative, right? When you're building your narrative, the time frame matters. But when you're just going in and reading the tape, the time frame matters not, because you just want to see, because price is fractal, right? Price is fractal. Just like, okay, it's reacting off of a fair value gap in the premium, in the discount. It's, it's doing this. Price is fractal. So you can read the price on any time frame. You get a very detailed view of reading the price. I'm tired of looking at this. Get out of here. Discard. You get a very detailed view of reading the price looking at the 1 minute, because you see a lot more happening, because it's 1 minute at a time. You see a lot more swing highs. You see a lot more volume imbalances. You see a lot more fair value gaps. You see a lot more breakers. You see a lot more everything, right? But it's still the same, right? It's still the same, because if I didn't say, hey, these are 1 minute candles, right? If I didn't say, hey, these are 1 minute candles, it's all still the same, because it's still going to the same areas, doing the same thing. It's just a lot more detail on the 1 minute than it is on the 15 minute. Hopefully I was able to help someone with this. Hopefully I was able to share something that, what is this right here? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do anybody got anything before I go? Do anybody got anything before I go? We pushing up on an hour. I'm gonna get these episodes down to 30 minutes one of these days. I promise you I am. I'm gonna get them down to 30 minutes one of these days. Going once, going twice. Does anyone got anything before I go? Any questions? Any questions? Any aha moments? Anything at all? No, nothing. Well, all righty then. My son is cooking dinner, so I'm gonna get ready to go partake in that. Apply, bring everything back on screen. Bring everything back on screen. On screen. On screen. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, man. That's it. We're gonna go ahead and call it. I appreciate y'all as always for tapping in. You can spend your time anywhere else, but you decide to come hang out with me. Just your friendly neighborhood retired man out here trying to help people get their aha moment when it comes to this trading and investing. I really appreciate y'all, man. Really do. Like I always like to say, don't put off till tomorrow what you can say today. If your loved ones are still with us, let them know right now that you love them. If your parents are still with us, call them. Let them know that you love them. Your children, your grown children, your children at home with you, your spouse, your friends, your siblings, your enemies even. Fix it. If it's something that's not quite right, fix it. Because ain't nobody promised tomorrow. No, they're not. I opened up my Twitter today and I saw that some lady with a couple rifles and a pistol was shooting up a school. Killed some kids and some grown folk. Females out there busting in the schools now. Nobody's promised tomorrow. I get on here every single day and I say nobody's promised tomorrow. There's a lot of families that woke up this morning and did not expect their family member to get killed in a school shooting today. Nobody's promised tomorrow. Take advantage while you can. Don't just say it. Don't just show it. Say it, show it, and confirm it. Open up the lines of communication. I don't care if it's your spouse, your mother, your sibling, your friend, your foe, anybody. Open up the lines of communication. Don't let tomorrow not come and you holding on to that burden. You're holding on to that weight. You got that anvil around your neck. Don't do it. Don't do it. I appreciate y'all, man. As always, thank you for supporting, especially the ones that support in a financial way. It's totally unnecessary, but it's very much appreciated. Shout out to people who come through with the super chats, the hard hitting super chat. Shout out to Phoenicia. Always coming through with the hard hitting super chats. Thank you to everybody that just be pulling up. Thank you to everybody that once signed up for the memberships and they no longer are. I appreciate you. Thank you for all those that share the videos. I appreciate you. For those who wondering when I was going to open up the 101/mentor/ whatever you want to call it, I don't know. It's still up in there. I don't know if I want to do it or not. It's still up in there because everything you need is already on the channel for free, you know, and I really don't see no need to charge somebody for something that's already up there for free. But, you know, and I'll be like, hey, if you just want to put the money in my pocket, I can, but I don't know. You know how the song go, if your heart isn't in it. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all in the morning for the overnight price. Action. I'm gone, man.